大家好，我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，欢迎您收看这一周的罗马主场 Rome Report。在这一周，我们要持续来关注世界主教会议在罗马举行期间所衍生出的一些讨论议题，包括亚马逊地区神职人员缺乏的困境，以及神父的独身制。有人建议让已婚男士可以领受圣制圣事，以及我们看到了教宗接见亚马逊地区原住民领袖时，他也戴上了原住民赠送的羽毛头冠。在新闻一开始，我们就来看有40位亚马逊地区的原住民领袖与教宗方济各会面。他们为了感激教宗召开主教会议，特别准备了一份最具象征性的礼物，以此来表示教宗是原住民，教宗是亚马逊人。
The children of the jungle praise you, Lord, the poor and forgotten, with an eagerness to be free. Almost 40 leaders, mostly women of different indigenous Amazonian communities, greeted the Pope with this song. Pope Francis met with them to listen to their experiences and thoughts on the Synod. He also received many gifts, tokens of gratitude for the convening of the Synodal Assembly. This was one of the most striking and symbolic gifts. The Pope is indigenous, the Pope is Amazonian, they said to Pope Francis after putting these feathers on his head. During their meeting, the Pope explained that the gospel is like a seed that takes the characteristics of the soil that it grows in. This is why he stressed the importance of enculturation for communities to receive the proclamation of Jesus within their own cultures. Pope Francis also warned the indigenous leaders of the dangers of new forms of colonialism. This encounter ended with a group photo.
神职人员缺乏的问题不仅在亚马逊地区，连欧洲甚至是亚洲也面临了同样的问题。有一本新书叫做《新郎之友》，书的内容提到了神父独身制。它的作者是韦莱书基，他在这本新的著作里面涵盖了过去以及现在超过20年培育神父的经验，而他也认为独身制是信德的表现。在这本新书里面以4种语言出版，也希望能够大家明白司铎的角色。
We will go forward.
Cardinal Ouellet recently published this book about priestly celibacy. In it, he furthers his position for the Amazon Synod, where the proposal to ordain married men due to a shortage of priests in remote areas will be discussed.
I am open to the debate, and I have given some substantial aspects, to take care of in the debate.
In the book, he proposes facing the problems with a pastoral creativity, respecting Amazonian culture without sacrificing the fixed values of Christian tradition.
Io non sono contrario, ma sono
I'm not against, but skeptical of the idea of ordaining married men or viri probati to the priesthood. Firstly, because there's no catechists or deacons in the Amazon. I believe we should propose these figures before discussing viri probati for communities in remote areas. The Cardinal assures that his book goes beyond the present moment. It recounts his more than 20 years working in the formation of priests. He says celibacy is an act of faith.
Uno ha rinunciato alla più bella.
One renounces one of the most beautiful values for man, to have a wife and form a family, in order to belong completely to Christ, to serve him and to be a minister of his word. This has unparalleled evangelizing potential. The Latin Church is more missionary than any other church because this reality that it lives, albeit not always perfectly, and transmits to cultures. The book has been published in 4 languages and is a text that will help all kinds of people understand the priest's role.
珍惜资源应该也是目前在全球各地应该被推广执行的议题。最近联合国在罗马举行世界粮食日高峰会，因为处理全球紧急粮食问题的联合国粮食及农业组织总部就是设立在罗马。 因为受到战争、气候危机以及边缘化，现在全球有1/10的人口正在挨饿，所以今年的高峰会提出了健康饮食造就世界零饥饿的主题。教宗方济各也致函峰会，促请大家听取受饥饿与营养不良的人们他们的呼喊。
The UN has commemorated World Food Day in Rome because the headquarters of the FAO that deals with this global emergency is located in this city. This year, they proposed healthy diets for a zero-hunger world. 1 in 9 people go hungry almost always because of war, climate crisis, and marginalization. Pope Francis has sent a message to the summit and has asked that it hears the cry of the people who suffer from hunger and malnutrition. Its official representative read the text.
No podemos olvidar.
We must come to realize that we are accumulating and wasting the bread of the poor. Pope Francis warned about the diet of obese communities and linked it to problems such as diabetes, cardiovascular, and degenerative diseases. Additionally, there is an increasing number of deaths from anorexia and bulimia. Chinese FAO General Director thanked him for the message. In his speech, he warned that hunger and malnutrition will be the main obstacles to meeting the 2030 development goals. Despite the problem of hunger, 1 billion tons of food are thrown out every year. This is why the UN says the first step is to change production and consumption habits to avoid waste. This is something that not only depends on institutions, but on every individual person.
许多人到罗马梵蒂冈朝圣，最期待的就是每周三教宗在圣伯多禄广场的公开接见。10月24号，教宗比平常提早抵达广场，他从座驾祝福婴孩，并问候所有的朝圣者。这一天正好也是世界主教会议的最后一周，教宗讲解宗徒大事录的要理，谈到耶路撒冷会议。反思初期教会举行首次公议会，以解决团体争执的问题。
Pope Francis went out early to greet pilgrims in St. Peter's Square. Crowds and family members were emotional as he blessed babies from the Pope-mobile. After greeting pilgrims, the Pope returned to his catechesis on the book of the Acts of the Apostles. He reflected on how the first Christian community resolved its first grand discussion at the Council of Jerusalem. Part of the group thought non-Jews converted to the Christian faith should follow precepts of the law of Moses, such as circumcision, while the other part of the group disagreed.
La Asamblea de Jerusalén nos enseña cómo enfrentar las divergencias y buscar la verdad en la caridad. Nos ayuda a entender que la sinodalidad es el método eclesial para reflexionar y confrontarse.
The Pope explained that it is important to follow what the Holy Spirit wants during synodal discussions. This is why a synod is not a parliament with different factions where the majority wins, but a path that all must travel in unity. As an example, he recalled the letter sent to the Antioch community after the Council of Jerusalem was signed.
È interessante come scrivono la lettera, incominciano gli apostoli dicendo lo Spirito Santo e noi pensiamo che è proprio della sinodalità la presenza dello Spirito Santo. Dal contrario non è sinodalità, è parlatorio, parlamento, altra cosa.
This catechesis on synodality took place during the final week of the Amazon Synod. This synod is the third carried out by Pope Francis, after those dedicated to family and young people.
教宗方济各以自身为榜样，希望不断提醒，在信仰的旅程中，分歧不应该妨碍我们共同见证和传福音的使命。最近有一项捐赠活动，就是教宗方济各决定把一直存放在教宗小圣堂内的圣伯多禄遗读捐赠给正教会的主要领导人。圣人的遗读可以表述我们正在谈论的并非是神话故事，而是真实和具历史性的信仰。 由于正教宗主教已经拥有博多禄弟兄圣安德勒的遗嘱，所以能使两兄弟使徒遗嘱的相聚，也代表了更多的合作与见证福传的使命。
This reliquary contains 9 fragments of St. Peter's bones. It was kept in the Pope's private chapel, but Pope Francis has decided to give it to the main leader of the Orthodox Church to improve ecumenical relations. The Pope explains his reasoning for the gift in this letter that he sent to Patriarch Bartholomew I. As he knows the importance of relics to the Orthodox Church, he clarified the fragments' origins. He recalled that in 1939, Pius XII authorized a dig under St. Peter's Basilica to locate the original tomb of St. Peter. Archaeologists found it under the main altar. A few years later, the Pope writes, they also identified in the same area a niche with some remains of bones that can reasonably be considered Peter. In that niche, there are still other fragments of St. Peter's bone relics. Laura Donato is one of the guides that shows pilgrims this place every day.
The relics have this importance, have the possibility to show that we are talking about a real and historical faith. Faith has its roots in history. Now we don't talk about mythological tales, but real historical events.
As the Orthodox Patriarch already holds the relics of St. Andrew, Peter's brother, the Pope tells him that the joining of the relics of the 2 brother apostles can also serve as a constant reminder and encouragement that on this continuing journey, our divergences will no longer stand in the way of our common witness in our evangelizing mission.
西班牙萨拉戈萨大学的研究室经过30年的研究，找到了一种可以有效对抗结核的新疫苗。由于结核病是世界上最严重的传染病，也是第2大杀手。目前联合国已经着手希望在2030年之前把结核病根除。目前这个新发现的疫苗已经通过动物和人体的测试，距离正式公布和使用只剩下最后一步。所以研究人员来到圣伯多禄广场，告诉教宗这个好消息，并希望教宗能够提供协助疫苗的推行。
During the general audience, Spanish researcher Carlos Martín Montañez gave the Pope good news. After 30 years of research, they may have found an effective vaccine against tuberculosis, which causes more deaths than any other disease.
We need his spiritual help and his commitment to help less privileged people and the poorest populations to fight against this illness.
Tuberculosis is the world's most serious infectious disease and the second leading cause of death. Of the 10 million people that contracted the disease in 2017, 1.6 million died. The UN has set out to eradicate it by 2030. The vaccine developed by Dr. Martín Montañez's team can help, as it's effective even when transmitted via the respiratory tract. The vaccine has been tested on animals and humans. It's one stage away from final release and distribution.
As soon as it can be administered, we will be able to help control the disease.
Dr. Martín Montañez traveled to Rome with the Jesuit professor who taught him science in school. They are proud of the vaccine's humanitarian impact.
Carlos Martín Montañez was one of my first students who certainly, as we used to say, surpassed the master.
According to him, the vaccine has been successfully administered to babies and adults in Switzerland and South Africa. Its use and safety are currently being tested on other population groups. Now, everything depends on the interests of governments and institutions. The sooner results are obtained and the vaccine's efficiency proven, the sooner distribution can begin. They've asked for the Pope's help with precisely that.
一位前奥运选手利比卡杜索利用她的恩赐，透过体育运动带领其他女性来接近上主。她希望每一位信徒妈妈们重新关注健康、关注幸福、成圣的道路，以及如何把这些元素产生协同的效果。
Olympian in cross-country skiing, fitness coach, world champion, mother, and Catholic. This is Rebecca Dussault, otherwise known as Fit Catholic Mom. After participating in the 2006 Winter Olympics, she started to use her gifts to lead women closer to God through sports. Her goal is to encourage mothers to live their best life, one that includes spiritual, physical, and mental well-being.
It wasn't enough just to gift my knowledge and expertise into 4, 5, 6 women locally, but I really wanted to make this a global transition for Catholic mothers to rediscover their health, their happiness, and their holiness, and the interplay of all those things.
She says women come to her who are overweight, scared of pregnancy, emotionally suffering, and spiritually dry. Rebecca helps them address each problem through a sport mentality, achieving one goal at a time.
Wow, sport is such a powerful tool for so many things. It absolutely brings people closer to God because it uncovers so much of the human spirit, our courage, our bravery, our excellence, our brotherhood, our way to challenge our comfort zone. Nothing great is achieved in our comfort zone. And when people are coming and using sport as that school of moral excellence, as that fertile ground for accepting the challenge against ourselves to be more, then we can grow, then we can learn, and we can thrive.
Her fitness advice and public speaking events throughout the United States help mothers insert discipline into their life. Since she started in 2006, she's watched women's confidence soar, marriages transform, and mindsets be overpowered by grace.
感谢您收看这一周的罗马主场 Rome Report。在节目的最后，带您来看光启社即将在11月份推出的新节目 Oh My God 微笑福尔摩沙的精彩片段。谢谢您收看，我们下周再会，祝福大家平安喜乐。
好啊！哎呀，对，不简单，还好。
耶稣的一个很特别的一个经，他不愿意悔改，还没有修什么
每年公益。
我沉的地方，看着谢树木。
应该是。
这群来自海外的外籍传教士，张起信仰的风帆，用坚定的信念搭建成船的骨架，以爱为燃料深耕台湾，将善念的力量传递到台湾四方。因为他们的无私奉献，我们看见微笑的福尔摩沙。